repair prep, more repair prep. Lady brought this shade in, brought this base in. It's called a banker's lamp. It's got a crack here and a crack here. I gave her a price on fixing it. She said keep it, because she basically had bought this thing in a thrift shop for like $10 or $20. Obviously it's Chinese made, but they did a really neat job. This is a more than likely a resin base instead of metal. They did a nice job with these arms like this. You know, back in the mid 80s, the late 80s, Ed Hoy had carried bases so that you could make these fixtures. This is one that I had made. This is from a catalog from 1988 that I had made some various product, this one and this one and this one, to sell. The only thing that I got out of that deal was a whole box of catalogs that I can't use. So in order to fix this, I need to take this off of the base. Now, I know people are going, well, you know, can't you try to fix that with it on there? I said, no. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things that now, in this case, you would adjust the tension on this base, on this shade, with this little thing here, okay, with this nut. I will take that off in a minute. This is actually a European socket. They unscrew like this. This thing comes out, okay, and there's 2 screws for your wire. I will wind up having to put it back on when I put everything together. Come on. You did a good job of tightening that up. Well, yes, they did a really good job of tightening that up. But basically, when I made the one that I made, this is what I had to do. Okay. See, they soldered the ends of the wire so it wouldn't wander around the inside of your socket base. But with these plastic sockets like this, okay, you don't need an inside insulator. And then this one has to be unscrewed. Usually there's a little screw on the bottom, whether it's a brass socket or a plastic socket like this, okay, to keep it from rotating on the pipe. That has to be loosened, so this can be unscrewed. Okay, unscrew all of this. Okay, unscrew all that, pull the wire out of it. Now, I need my pliers again. Be able to unscrew this nut. So this comes off. Okay. And probably use some glue on the threads of this thing to keep that socket from turning. So I have to get it past the adhesive that they used on there. I might even strip the threads when they did it. When you use pliers on threaded pipe, you want to make sure that you don't damage the threads. In this case, it looks like they may have actually stripped it when they put it on. But this has to come off in order to get this the base off of here. Get this shade off the base. Okay. So and the same thing on here. This has to come off. This has to come out of the arm in order to get the base off, to get the shade off. And you would have to do this if you made one of these. Okay, if you made one of these, got a hold of one of these bases and made this, you would have to do the same thing to put the shade on. Unscrew that, see? And then you can actually take it off. Of course, it wants to fight. Okay. Yes, and it's just a big of a pain in the tail that you want to make one of these, that this is what you have to go through in order to get the shade off. Okay. So now I got that apart. Now I can work on the shade. And you can make stuff like this. You know, the ones that Ed Hoy sold had curved, had a curved foam mold to make that on, kind of like a word and shade. Very simple, and guides for the edges. So thank you. God bless. Bye bye.